Hey guys, good morning. All are getting my screen and voice. Please confirm.
Yes, sir.
So in last previous sessions, we discussed about course content.
Recording in progress.
So what we are going to discuss in DevOps, what tools we are going to discuss in DevOps, and what services which we are going to discuss in AWS. All these things we discussed in last sessions. Fine guys. So today we will see what is DevOps first. What is DevOps? So anyone please confirm what is DevOps, guys? What is DevOps? Anyone have any idea? Is it a programming language?
Yes, DevOps is between the work structure in between developer and the support guys are in production, so
Okay.
that it will take less time to deploy the things in our production environment.
Good. See guys, DevOps is not a programming language. And it is not a tool also. Then what is DevOps, guys? Then what is DevOps? DevOps is a culture. DevOps is a culture or process or set of practices. DevOps is a culture or process or set of practices. Right? So we will use this DevOps culture. By using this DevOps culture, what we can do, guys, we can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. By using this DevOps culture, we can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. Guys, it is not a programming language, it is not a tool. Then what is this? It is a process or it is a culture or set of practices. By using this DevOps practices, we can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. Understand, guys? Is it clear what is DevOps? Don't feel it is a programming language. Don't feel it is a tool. Just it is a process. Right? We are following one process. We are following a DevOps process to deliver the project to client easily and quickly. See guys, if you want to develop any software project, so we need to follow one life cycle, guys. We need to follow one life cycle. And we will call it as software development life cycles. We need to follow some software development life cycle. There was multiple stages are available. What stages are available? Requirement gathering, requirement analysis, design phase, development, testing, delivery, maintenance, like that. Multiple stages are available in that life cycle. By using this DevOps, what we are doing, that the software development life cycle process, right? We can make it easy, guys. Understood, guys? Is it clear? Whatever the delivery process is there, we are going to automate by using DevOps, guys. Earlier, people used it to do manually. Earlier, people used it to do this process manually, but now what we are doing, by using this DevOps, we are automating that process. We are not going to do manually. See guys, here developers are available. Those developers will write the code and upload that code into the GitHub repository. So now code is present in GitHub repository. So next DevOps team will come into the picture. So what they will do earlier they will do manually guys, downloading the code from the GitHub repository, and right, next build the code manually. We have some maven commands are there. By using those maven commands, they build the project. Whatever the code they have downloaded from the GitHub repository, they will build that project manually. After that, they will package that project as a var file by using some commands only. After that, by using some tools, they will do the code review, how the people are written the code, they are followed the coding standards or not. Everything manual process guys. Earlier everything is manual process. Whenever this DevOps came into the picture, we automated that entire process. We don't need to do anything guys, right? We automated that entire process. Whenever developers commit the code into the GitHub repository, immediately, right, automatically our Jenkins will download the code, our Jenkins will build the code, our Jenkins will do the code review, our Jenkins will deploy the project into the servers. There is no manual process at here. See guys, let me draw the diagram. See guys, in my project, multiple developers are working. In my project, multiple developers are working. This is my development team. This is my development team guys. So what development team will do? They will develop the applications. They will develop the application. Here they have developed one application. Application they have developed. They have written some code to develop this application. Right. After developing this application, what we need to do guys? So this application we need to upload into the GitHub repository. And here we have GitHub repository. This is GitHub repository. GitHub repository. Right. So whatever the code these developers are developed, they will upload that code into the GitHub repository. They will upload the code into the GitHub repository. Fine. So developer's job is completed. Developer's job is completed guys. Earlier what people used to do guys, downloading the code from this GitHub repository, right? So build that code, convert that code as a package and deploy that package into the server. That everything is the manual process. So now what people are doing, guys, now this everything is becomes automate, and we no need to do anything manually at here. See guys, here what we are doing, observe carefully. At here we are using one tool which is called as Jenkins. Here we are using one tool which is called as Jenkins. Right, Jenkins is available. Jenkins is available, guys. Right, now here we are integrating Maven and Sonar, all these things with Jenkins. Maven and Sonar. Right, yes. See here, developers per day, in a day, developers will do multiple commits, guys. Multiple times they will send the code to GitHub repository. Earlier, every time, once they upload the code into the GitHub repository, they will inform to the operations team, Array, just now I have uploaded the code into the GitHub repository. Could you please download that code and deploy that code into the server? Like that, they need to inform to us. But now, right, they are now that is not the process, guys. That is the manual process. Now what is happening, whenever developers are uploading the code into the GitHub repository, it immediately Jenkins will get one notification. Jenkins will get one notification from this GitHub repository. Hey Jenkins, just now developers are did some commit. Like that, Jenkins will get the notification. Whenever Jenkins will get the notification, immediately Jenkins will download the code from this GitHub repository. Right, Jenkins, see guys, see, GitHub repository URL is available. One URL is available inside the GitHub repository. That URL we need to configure inside the Jenkins, guys. And from where I need to download the code, that URL we need to configure inside the Jenkins. By using that URL, Jenkins will download the code. Whenever Jenkins downloaded the code, immediately it give it to Maven. What Maven will do? Maven will build that code. Why? Because here Java program is there. My system can't able to understand the Java program. My system can able to understand only bytecode zeros and ones. So what we need to do? We need to convert that source code into a bytecode. To convert the source code into a bytecode, we need to use compiler. Right? Compiler will do that. Let's see what Maven will do. Maven will compile that program. Maven will compile that code and it will convert as bytecode. After that, Maven will package that one to create a jar file or var file. Right, so next Sonar will come and Sonar will verify how the people are written the code, they have followed the coding standards or not. Everything Sonar will verify. Right, once everything is done, what Jenkins will do? Jenkins will take the packaged var file and it will deploy into the servers. So this entire process is automated. Whenever DevOps came into the picture, from that time onwards, this process, entire process is automated process. Earlier, everything we need to do manually, guys. Developer need to tell us that they uploaded the code into the GitHub repository. Then we need to download the code and we need to do all these processes manually by using some commands. Right? So to deploy the application into the server also we need to write some commands, guys. Everything we need to do manually only earlier. See guys, here we have this is my AWS cloud. This is my AWS cloud. AWS cloud is available. Inside this AWS cloud, what I am doing, guys, I'm creating in this AWS cloud, I'm creating one instance, one EC2 instance I'm going to create in this AWS cloud. So this is my EC2 instance, my line exhibition, This is my EC2 instance. right? Inside this EC2 instance, right? If you want to run this Java application, assume this is the web application. If you want to run this web application, we should have one server inside this EC2 instance. We need to install one web server. This is my web server, Tomcat server. Tomcat, WebLogic, WebSphere, JBoss, Glassfish, all these things are the Java related web servers. We need to install one web server to run the web application. Web server. Right. So inside this, we deployed one var file. Application.var file is available. This var file we are going to deploy it here. Right. Who will deploy this application? Who will deploy this var file into the server? Jenkins will deploy this. Jenkins will deploy that var file inside this web server. Who will create this var file? Maven will create that var file. Maven will create that var file and Jenkins will deploy that var file into the server. This is the process, guys. Who will set up this environment, guys? If you want to run any application in the server, we should have some environment. So this is the environment, guys. Who will set up this environment? DevOps engineers only need to do this setup, guys. We only need to do this setup. Installing the servers, deploying the application, right? Creating the instances inside the AWS cloud. Everything we only need to take care. Understood, guys? Right, we need to create the Jenkins jobs. Inside the jobs, we need to configure from where Jenkins need to download the code. Right, by using which build tool I want to build the code. By using which tool I want to check the code quality. Right, where I need to deploy the application. If you want to deploy the application in the web server, Jenkins should have the user credentials. By using that user credentials, Jenkins will deploy the application into the server. Right, this everything is automated. Earlier, this entire process is manual process. Right, whenever DevOps comes, this entire process is automated, guys. Right, because of automating this entire process, we can deliver the project to client quickly. If you want to do this entire process manually, it will take a lot of time, guys. It will take a lot of time. But now, whenever DevOps came, from that time onwards, we are not doing manually. Automatically, we are doing this process. Because of this, we can deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. Right, guys? Is it clear what is DevOps? Because of DevOps culture. See, guys, earlier we changed the process. That's it. Earlier also we did all these things. Guys. But earlier we did manually. Now we are making automate, guys. Now we are doing automatically. Just we changed the process. Just we changed the culture. So because of that DevOps culture, what is happening? Right, we can deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. And here, developers and DevOps, this operations team, both the teams are working collaboratively to deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. See, guys, see this diagram? Is it clear, this diagram? Can I say DevOps is used to automate the project delivery process to client? Can I say DevOps is used to automate the project delivery process to delivery process? See guys. DevOps is used to automate the project delivery process. Project delivery process to client. Right. In this DevOps process, with this DevOps culture, with this DevOps culture, with this DevOps culture, development team and operations team, development team and operations team both will work collaboratively. Both will work collaboratively. With this DevOps culture, development team and operations team both will work collaboratively. Development team responsibility is responsible for to develop the code, to develop the project based on client requirement. According to client requirement, development team is responsible to develop the project. Operations team is responsible to create the infrastructure, and deliver the project. Development team is responsible to develop the project based on client requirement. Operations team is responsible to create the infrastructure and deliver the project to client. See guys, here infrastructure means what? See, creating the machines, installing the softwares, deploying the application. This is infrastructure. If you want to run any application, we should have some platform, guys. We should have some platform. Right? Platform is nothing but what? Environment. Environment is nothing but platform which we will use to run the application. See, this infrastructure must be required to run the application. Then only we can deploy the application and we can run the application. See guys, inside AWS cloud, we are creating one EC2 instance machine. Inside that EC2 instance machine, we are installing one server, one web server we are installing. Right, inside that web server, we are deploying the application.var file we need to deploy. Maven is creating that var file. Jenkins is deploying that var file into the web server. This is the process, guys. See here, development team and operations team both are working collaboratively. See, up to here development job is completed. Developing the code and upload the code into the GitHub repository. Done. Right, whenever developers are uploaded the code into the GitHub repository, from that time onwards, our operations team activities will start. Operations team need to download the code from the GitHub repository and they need to build it and they need to verify the code quality and they need to deploy the application into the server. Who will create this infrastructure? Operations team only will create this infrastructure. Same thing I have mentioned here. Development team is responsible to develop the project based on the client requirement. Operations team is responsible to create the infrastructure and deliver the project to client. Right. So now can I say DevOps is a DevOps is a combination of combination of development development and DevOps is a combination of development plus operations. Can I say like this, guys? It is a combination of development and operations. See, guys, development plus operations. This is nothing but what? DevOps. Is it clear, guys? Please go through these points once. Please have a look into these points. Let me check in Google what they are saying about DevOps. Just here, check. What is DevOps? See, guys, DevOps is a set of practices. See, guys, here what they are telling. DevOps is a set of DevOps is a set of practices that combines software development and IT operations. See, guys, what it is doing? What it is doing? Combining, right? Development and IT operations. DevOps is a combination of development and operations. Read it, guys. DevOps is a set of practices that combines software development and IT operations. It aims to shorten the system development life cycle and provide continuous delivery with high software quality. Read it, guys. Read this one, what they are telling. We will discuss what is agile development, all those things we will discuss, guys. SDLC, software development life cycle, there I will discuss what is agile development, what is waterfall methodology, everything we will discuss there. See, guys, so this is our continuous process, guys. DevOps, right? Continuous delivery. See, this is the continuous process. See, guys, continuous process, guys. DevOps means, see, See guys, development is happening, coding first, planning guys, first planning. Once planning is done, coding is done, building, we need to build that code. Next we need to do the testing, next we need to release, next we need to deploy, next operation, monitoring guys. Once delivering the project to client, we need to monitor guys. See, this is the continuous process. So that's why we are saying CI/CD means what? Continuous integration and continuous delivery. This is the continuous process guys. Planning, coding, building, testing, release, deploy, operate, monitoring. Right, monitoring guys, this is the continuous process. So DevOps, so this part, who will do this part guys? Who will do? Right, planning, coding, building, right, up to here development team will take care. Right, what operations team will do? They will release, they will deploy, they will monitor guys how the application is running. Right, once, right, the operations team will release the project, operations team will deploy the project, operations team will run the project, operations team will monitor the project how it is working. Right, see here, this planning and coding and testing, this is the different team part guys. Right, DevOps, the combination of development and operations is nothing but DevOps. So this process is a continuous process guys, continuous process. Daily developers will upload the code per day. So many times developer will push the code into the GitHub repository. What GitHub repository will do? What GitHub repository is doing guys? Observe it here. See, observe it here. Developers, not one developer. In a project, multiple developers are available. Multiple developers are uploading the code into the GitHub repository. What GitHub repository will do? It will take the code which is coming from multiple developers and it will integrate as a single project. See, suppose this guy is working on login functionality, this guy is working on registration functionality, this guy is working on dashboard. All these three people are working on three different functionalities. Right, so after developing the three functionalities, what these guys will do? These guys will upload the code into the GitHub repository. Inside this GitHub repository, what is happening? It is integrating the code which is coming from all the developers as a single project. GitHub repository integrating the code which is coming from multiple developers to as a single project. Continuous integration. Every time they will do, whenever these guys did the commit, every time it will take the code and it will integrate. Continuous integration. Right, Jenkins, whenever they did the commit, immediately Jenkins will download the code and do this entire process and deploy the code into the server. Continuous integration and continuous delivery. This is the continuous process. That's why we will call it as CI/CD process. What Jenkins is doing? Jenkins is doing CI/CD process. Continuous integration and continuous delivery it will do. See guys, see here, planning, coding, building, testing, release, deploy, operate, monitor. Again, if developers make any changes, again this process is the continuous process. Continuous process guys. Understood guys? Right, see here which tools we are using. Source code, version controlling we are doing, development, automation, code quality we are checking, CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery, visualization, logging, containerization, virtualization. See guys, all these things we are going to discuss guys. All these things, right, we are going to discuss. Source code, right, version controlling, development, automation, code quality, CI/CD, visualization, logging concepts, containerization, virtualization. Containerization means what? Docker. See guys, right, one ship is carrying this container. This is the container. Inside this container, what we have? All the required things. If you want to run this application in multiple servers, if you want to run this application, all these machines should have same configuration. Then only you can run this application in all these servers. right? Suppose, right, I am developing Java application. So if you want run the Java application in that server, compulsory Java should be required, right? And some Tomcat or some web server is required. So whatever the softwares are required, whatever the configurations are required, all those things we are taking in a container. We are taking as a container. So by this container, we are going to set up the infrastructure in all the machines, guys. Containerization, right? Virtualization, Kubernetes, virtualization. So all these things we will discuss, guys. What is virtualization, containerization? All these things we will discuss one by one. Is this diagram is clear? Guys, please respond. So infrastructure as code means what, guys? Tell me. Can anyone tell me infrastructure as code means what? Infrastructure as code. What is this? IaaC. What is this? Infrastructure as code. Yo, what guys? Here, what you guys can able to see? These are the multiple missions. See, guys, missions, right? So we can able to create the infrastructure. IaaS, infrastructure as code means Terraform. Yesterday I told, right, we can set up the infrastructure by using code also. Right, if you want set up the infrastructure by using code, we need to go for Terraform. Right, you can do GUI also, you can do by using GUI also, and you can do by using code also. Okay, version controlling, what we are using? So version controlling system which we are going to use GitHub. Git guys, GitHub we are going to use it here, right? Source code, everything we are going to source code we are going to keep inside that version controlling system only. What version controlling system will do? It will integrate the project as a single. It will integrate the code which is coming from multiple developers as a single project. Right here, for code quality purpose, which tool we are going to use? Sonar we are going to use. CI/CD process, which tool we are going to use? Jenkins we are going to use. Right? Containerization, Docker we are going to use. Logging, guys, monitoring purpose. Right? Yesterday I told, right, some logging monitoring mechanisms also we are going to use. Grafana, Prometheus, ELK, all those things we are going to use for monitoring purpose. Right? All these tools we will discuss, guys. Is this diagram is clear?
Yes.
All these points are clear, guys. What is DevOps? Is it clear? With this DevOps culture, what we are going to do, is it clear?
Yes.
That yesterday I showed one diagram. In yesterday's session, I showed one diagram. Let me open that. First, you guys should have the clear clarity what we are going to learn, guys. Just study. See this diagram, guys. See, here we have GitHub repository. Here we have GitHub repository. Inside this GitHub repository, we will create multiple branches, not single branch, guys. When you create the GitHub repository, by default, you will get one branch. Along with that, right, based on our requirement, we can create multiple branches inside the GitHub repository. Development branch, release branch, feature branch, testing QA branch, production prod branch. Like that, we can create multiple branches inside the GitHub repository. See, here you can see. Here we are creating multiple branches: main, develop, feature, SIT, UAT, release. All these are the branches. Right here, what Jenkins is doing, inside the Jenkins, we need to create the jobs. Right, development purpose, development for development perspective, one job we need to create. For SIT, we need to create another job. For UAT, we need to create another job. For production, we need to create another job. Inside the job, we need to configure from where I want to download the code. Right, inside the GitHub, multiple branches are available. From which branch I want to download the code, you need to configure inside this. Right, based on that configuration from this GitHub, my job will download the code. And inside the GitHub only, we need to configure by using which tool I want to build that downloaded code. You are downloading source code. You can't able to deploy that source code directly to the environment. Environment is nothing but what? A platform. Environment is nothing but a platform which we will use to run the application. Right? If you want to run the application, you should deploy that application first. Right? So directly this source code you will deploy, you can't able to deploy. First you need to create as a var file, right, where you will configure all that information. Inside the development job, I need to configure. Inside the development job, from where I need to download the code, by using which tool I want to compile, by using which tool I want to build, by using which tool I want to create a var file, right, by using which tool I want to check the code quality, and in which server I want to deploy. In which server I want to deploy, what is the username and password of that server. If Jenkins want to deploy, compulsory it should have some username and password. Right? If you want login into Gmail, you should have username, password or not. Then only you can able to log in into Gmail. Same way here also, if Jenkins want to deploy the application into the Tomcat server, compulsory Jenkins should have the username and password. That username and password he need to configure. Right? So Tomcat is running on which port? That port number you need to configure. Everything you need to configure inside the job. We are automating this process. By this configuration, we are automating process. Once you set up this one, your work is complete. Tomorrow, developers are uploaded any code inside the GitHub repository, though they no need to come and inform you to deploy that project. Whenever they did the commit, whenever they upload the commit, immediately notification will come to Jenkins. Right? Automatically this job will trigger. It will go and download the code and it will do everything. It will do whatever the process it has to do. It will do and deploy the project into the environment. Understood, guys? This entire thing our DevOps engineers only need to do. So this environment setup, this Jenkins setup, creating the branches in the GitHub, everything will be taken care by the DevOps engineers only. And what developers will do then? They will develop the code. They will write the code according to the project requirement and they will upload that code into the GitHub repository. We need to give the branch details to them. Where they need to upload the code, we need to give the branch details to them. They will upload that code into that branch. They will upload that code into the branch, guys. We need to create the branches. DevOps team will create the branches and they will give the branch details to the development team. They will develop the code and they will upload the code into this GitHub repository. Right? From that branch, right, this Jenkins jobs will download the code. This is the process, guys. First, you guys should understand the process. Where, right? So our DevOps engineers work is there. Exactly where it will come. So you guys should understand. So that's why I told DevOps is nothing but combination of both development and operations. Some people are feeling DevOps means development plus operations. So DevOps engineers also should know the coding. Not required. That is not the meaning for that, guys. Both people should work collaboratively, guys. The meaning of development plus operations means both teams should work collaboratively to deliver the project to client as quickly as possible. Development plus operations means don't feel operations team also should know the coding. No, not required. Understand? So now clear what is the DevOps, guys? DevOps is not a programming language. It is not a tool. It is not a framework. Then what is this? Just it is a culture. Just it is a process. Just it is a set of practices. By using this DevOps practices, what we can do, we can deliver the project to client easily and quickly. Right? So by using this DevOps, what we are doing, we are automating the project delivery process. Project delivery process to client. Right? Earlier, this process is manual process, but now with the DevOps, we are automating the process to deliver the project to client. With the DevOps culture, development team and operations team both will work collaboratively. Development team is responsible to develop the code, develop the project based on the client requirements. Operations team is responsible to create the infrastructure and deliver the project to client. They need to create the infrastructure, they need to deploy the project into that servers also. And we can say DevOps is a combination of development plus operations. Fine, guys? Is it clear what is DevOps? Right. So guys, tell me, just now I told, if you want to do all these processes, if you want to do this process, first you should have environment or not, guys? First you should have environment setup or not? Guys, please respond. If you want to deploy the project into the servers, first you should have this environment setup or not?
Yes.
Right now, then tell me, first what we need to learn? These DevOps tools or AWS services we need to learn. Where we are doing this environment setup in AWS cloud only, we are doing this environment setup. So then first which one we need to learn? DevOps tools or AWS services? If you don't know anything about this AWS, if you don't know anything, how to create the instances, how to create the security groups. See guys, here you are deploying the application inside the AWS server. Inside the EC2 instance, you are deploying the application. After deploying the application, right, you need to define who can able to access my server. Who can able to access my server? Right, my server, right, what my server can able to access. Right guys, what my EC2 instance can able to access, who can able to access my machine, right? All these things we need to configure it here, guys. Creating EC2 instance is not enough. Creating EC2 instance is not enough. Here we need to define who can able to access my machine, what my machine can able to access, which request my machine can able to access. All those things we need to define. Where you will define all those things? Where you will define all those things, guys? Tell me.
In Jenkins or in
Jenkins? Oh man. So we are creating EC2 instance in AWS cloud. In AWS cloud, we are creating the EC2 instance. In that instance only, in that mission, whatever the Linux mission you are creating, in that Linux mission only we need to configure who can able to access my application. Right? See, let me show it here. So you guys need to tell me first which thing we need to learn, DevOps tools or AWS services. Right? So let me show me once. Let me log in into this AWS account. 。 . 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . Right?
Sir, in the meantime, can I ask one question?
Yeah, you can.
Like in Jenkins also we can create roles for separate users or
Yeah,
for
yeah, we
separate
will create. We will create.
so in that perspective I said Jenkins, but what's the difference? I'm not
No, no,
sure.
that is
It,
different.
it,
So in Jenkins,
okay.
we will create the roles like this. Admin roles we will create. Admin roles. See, suppose, assume, small example I will tell. Right, in Jenkins, I have created two jobs. One is the development job I have created, and another one is the testing job I have created. Right, developers can't able to see that testing jobs. Testing team can't able to see the development jobs. How you can able to block that one? You need to give the permissions. You need to give the user access
Got it.
permissions, right? So only admin can able to see both development jobs and testing jobs, but the developer can't able to see the testing jobs what testers have created, right? Inside the testing jobs, testing related things are available. Inside the development job, development related things are available. Here we need to restrict the testing team to access that development jobs. We need to restrict the development team to access the testing jobs. So these kind of things we can do, guys. User permissions, admin permissions, role wise we can able to do in Jenkins. So that separate topic is there. We will discuss how to give the permissions, right? How to all those things. But coming to here, see, this is my EC2 instance. This is my EC2 instance. In class, I have created one instance here. Why? Where is that instance? Fine, no issue. Let me quickly, I will create one instance. Give me 1 second. We will discuss, guys, all the steps we will discuss. If you want to create the EC2 instance, 7 steps we need to follow. AMI, what is AMI, right? Instance type, right? Configure instances, storage, tags, security group, all these things we will discuss, right? Don't worry. Let me create quickly one instance. Creating the instance through GUI means these are the steps, guys. Same thing we can do through code also, Terraform code also. See, guys, here I have created one instance. I'm giving the name for this instance. But here I am giving just Linux virtual machine. Linux virtual machine. Fine, guys. So this is my Linux virtual machine. Right now, inside this Linux virtual machine, I have installed one server and I have deployed one application. I have installed the server and I have deployed the application. Now tell me who can able to access my application. Who can able to access, right? Who can able to access my application, right? What URLs my application will accept, right? What URLs? See, guys, see here, if you give like this, if you give google.com, see, guys, Here, this is which request, guys? HTTPS request. HTTPS request. My application should access HTTPS request. My application should access HTTP request. My application should access SSH related request. My application should access RDP protocol request. Right? What request your application can access, we need to configure first. We need to configure first, guys. Where you will configure all those things inside the security groups. Here we have one concept which is the security groups. See, this is my instance. Click on this security. Right here, security group ID. Click on this. Here we have inbound rules, outbound rules. Here we have inbound rules, outbound rules. If you click on this, you can see inbound rules and outbound rules. Inside the inbound rules, we need to configure, right? So who can able to access my application? We need to configure. See, inbound rules. Edit inbound rules, and here we need to configure. See, guys, as of now, only SSH protocol related request only can able to access. If you want to connect with this EC2 Linux machine, compulsory, we need to enable this SSH protocol on port number 22. Then only by using putty, you can able to access this EC2 instance. From where I have created this machine, I have created this machine in AWS cloud. I want to access this machine from my Windows operating system. How you can able to access? Right? If you want access, you need to use this SSH protocol. By using this SSH protocol from my Windows operating system, I can able to access this Linux machine which is available in AWS cloud. Fine. Okay. So next, guys, I have deployed one web application. I have created one server and I deployed one web application. Now, from outside, from your Windows operating system, from your browser, can you able to access that application? Can you able to access that application? If you want access, suppose a Tomcat server is there. If you want access that application, you are sending HTTP protocol, HTTP request. HTTP request you will send. Right? If you want to send HTTP request, we need to enable that TCP port. What is the default port of Tomcat, guys? Tomcat server is running on 8080 port. The default port of Tomcat server is 8080. Here you need to enable that Tomcat port. 8080 port you need to enable. Then only you can able to send the HTTP request to this application. How you will enable? Add a rule. Here I am going to choose TCP protocol. Right, see, custom TCP, fine, not a problem. Right, here I am going to give the port number 8080. Right, here custom. Right, from anywhere you can able to access. Right, from anywhere you can send the request with this 8080 port. Like this we need to enable, save the rules. So now only you can able to send the HTTP request to my server. Now you can able to send the HTTP request to server. All these things we need to configure in the security groups. Okay, guys, see, inside your EC2 instance, there is no much more storage. There is no much more storage, guys. Only at the time of creating EC2 instance, you will get only 8 GB space. 8 GB volume you will get. Inside that 8 GB volume, already operating system also is there. So now, if you want some additional volume, we need to create the volumes. See, EBS, Elastic Block Store, and we need to attach this volume to that EC2 instance. Then only you can able to store the data inside the volumes. Right? Security groups, key pairs. If you want to connect with this mission, you should have some key pair. With that key pair only you can able to connect with these missions. Elastic IPs, load balancer. Yesterday I told load balancer. Right? Huge requests are coming. How you can able to balance that load? Auto scaling. Right? Whenever any offers are going on in e-commerce websites, per minute lakhs of requests will come. At that time they need to scale up the servers, they need to increase the servers. Once that offer is gone, they need to decrease the servers. For that, we will use auto scaling, automatically increasing the servers, automatically decreasing the servers. Right. So first we need to understand all these things, guys. First we need to learn all these things. Right. Without having any idea on this, right, the environment setup, you can't able to deploy the application. Understood, guys? First tell me what we need to learn. This AWS tools are, sorry, DevOps tools are AWS services.
AWS services.
First we need to understand AWS services. First we need to understand AWS services. Then we will go for this DevOps tools. Before these two, we need to learn Linux commands, guys. Linux commands. Right. See, if you want to download Java, if you want to download Java or Tomcat, here download Tomcat I'm giving. Right. In Windows operating system, if you want download any software, you will give like this. You will go to this official website. Here we have the options to download. We have the options to download. See here, zip folder, tar folder, right? Windows, right? So we need to select zip folder. If you click on this, Tomcat will be downloaded into your system. Fine, guys. My Linux machine, I want to download the Tomcat, guys. Do you have this? Do you have this GUI in Linux? Can you able to see that our physical machine? No. We have created those machines in AWS cloud. Right, we can connect with those machines and we can perform the operations. Now, how you can able to download Tomcat in Linux virtual machine? Here you have the GUI. Directly you are opening the browser and there just you are typing download Tomcat. You are getting this page and clicking on this zip folder. But in Linux you don't have this page, right? Then how you will download? How you will download? Through commands. Through commands only we need to do. In Linux, we have one command which is the wget command. By using that wget command, right, we can able to download the software from official website to our Linux virtual machine. Okay, I want to install Java. If you want to run the web application in Tomcat server, first you should install Java in that virtual machine. And how you will install the Java? We don't have this GUI to download the Java and do. Through commands only we need to install. I want to deploy the application into the server. Through commands only we will deploy. I want to change the port numbers. Through commands only we can change the port numbers. Right. So all these commands we need to learn in Linux. First I'm going to start Linux, guys. Right. I'm going to spend at least 10 days on this Linux and shell scripting. Right, 8 days, minimum 8 days I will discuss Linux. Next 3 days I will discuss some shell scripting, how to write the shell scripting programs, how to run the shell scripting files. Right, those things we will discuss. Once it is completed, then I will move into AWS services. AWS services I will discuss, guys. Then I will come to our DevOps tools. If possible, right, if any AWS batch starts, right, you can attend parallelly also, no problem. Why? Because both I am only cover, right? For both I am only the trainer, so you guys can manage both. I will manage, guys. Evening batch people like that only they are attending. DevOps and AWS like that they are attending. Parallelly they are doing both. Okay, guys. Is it clear? See, guys, every diagram, daily diagrams, class notes and everything I will share, guys. You guys no need to write anything. Guys. Everything I will share. Whatever I am typing in notepad, right, each and everything step by step I will write and I will share. See, in yesterday's session, yesterday evening session, I explained this one. See, how to install the Tomcat and how to deploy the application. And everything I explained in yesterday's session. 1 minute. 9, right? Yesterday date is 15/9. See, guys, like this I will prepare the notes, guys. To run the web applications, we need web server. To run the Java web applications, right, we can use below servers, Tomcat server, WebLogic, WebSphere. To run the .NET applications, we need to use IIS server provided by Microsoft. What is Apache Tomcat server? Apache Tomcat is a web server. Apache Tomcat is used to run Java based web applications. It is free and open source. Apache Tomcat runs on port number 8080 by default. If you want, you can change the port number also. Right, once you downloaded the Tomcat folder, inside the Tomcat folder, what folders are available? This is the folder structure. What is the purpose of each and every folder? Next, in Linux mission, how you will work with the Tomcat server? See, first you need to go to AWS management console. You need to create the EC2 instance. Next, you need to connect with that EC2 instance. Next, we need to install the Java by using this command. Next, we need to verify whether Java is installed or not by using this command. Next, right, if your machine have multiple Java versions, how you can able to switch to particular version? Next, if you want to download any software from official website, see, this is my Tomcat official website. I want to download Tomcat in my Linux machine. See, this is the command wget tar file URL we need to give. Next, I want to extract that folder. See, in our Windows machine, directly we are doing like this. Go to downloads. In this downloads folder, that zip folder is downloaded. See, this zip folder is downloaded. Right click, extract all we are doing. How you will do? How you will do the extraction in Linux machine? For that, we need to use the command. See, tar file I want to extract. For that, I am using this command. Right, once a folder is extracted, go to inside that Tomcat folder, check what files are available. Right, now start that Tomcat server. See guys, this is the security group configuration we did. If you want access that, how we can able to access from outside of the Linux machine. See, step by step I will prepare the notes for you guys. Is it understandable or not? Please tell me. This notes, whatever I have written here, in front of you guys only, I will write everything like this. And I will share these notes. If I prepare like this, you guys need to write again these notes, guys. You guys can able to understand these steps or not?
Yes.
What guys?
Yes.
Is it easy or difficult?
No, sir, it's easy.
Right. Once you guys are focused on the class, right, whatever I am explaining, everything I will write in the notepad also. Once class is over, I will share this notepad. You guys no need to maintain any running notes. Right. Step by step, if you go through these notes, you can do anything. You can practice all the tasks also. Okay guys, like this I will prepare the notes daily in classroom only, and I will send it these notes also you. Okay, fine guys. Anyone have any questions? What we discussed in today's session, just we try to understand what is the DevOps. In today's session, just we try to understand what is DevOps. That's it guys. Okay, fine guys. Right, with this demo sessions are over, and whoever have interest, please contact with admin people and enroll. Right, from Monday onwards, our actual classes will start, guys. There is no demos. Right, from Monday onwards, I will speed up the things. Right, our actual regular classes will start. Tomorrow no session, guys. Right, so first weekend, right? Tomorrow no session. Right, every week Monday to Saturday we have the classes. Only tomorrow no session. Right, the demo classes are over. Right, whoever have the interest, please contact with admin people and do the enrollment process. From Monday onwards, our actual classes will start. Okay, fine guys, I'm stopping here. Thank you. We will meet on Monday.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. Yeah.